What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and we have got a lot to get caught up on. We have breaking news that just came out, also an update on Congress and avoiding another potential government shutdown, and also I got 3 stimulus checks I'm going to be covering for you in today's video. And this is your Build Back Better and stimulus check update. Now, first up, you guys, breaking news that just came out. I'm going to be sharing with you the actual video footage from President Joe Biden as, take a look at this, tense moments in Situation Room as Biden oversaw a raid on ISIS leader that was months in the making. And yes, this raid took place on the leader of ISIS. I'm going to give you all the details direct from President Joe Biden in video footage. Now, also, take a look at this. Democrats, GOP, they inch ahead towards potential deal to fund the government and avert a shutdown. And yes, lawmakers face a February 18th deadline. As you'll recall, they just kind of kicked the can down the road at the end of last year, and now we're going to be dealing with this again. And it says, and some hope to tack on a measure of new aid in response to the pandemic. So that's right, you guys, we could see additional funding, spending, stimulus to help us through the pandemic. And also 3 stimulus checks, and one is going to be a potential another Golden State stimulus, plus another state and another city. I'm going to be covering all the details for you in today's video. And also just wanted to say thank you for all the support on the second channel, Steve Ram Finance. I'm going to be getting more content up there to help out people interested in learning about growing wealth and personal finance. So keep an eye out for that. And if you're interested in joining, I will pin a comment down below. You can click that link, go subscribe, turn on notifications, and keep an eye out for that. But right now, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in, get you caught up on the latest. And let's start off by smashing the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Just takes a second, really helps out the channel a ton. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you like to stay up to date, totally free to do so. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. And if you got any specific questions for me, I'm easy to get a hold of directly. All you got to do is hop on Instagram and shoot me a DM at SteveRam3. But with that being said, you guys, let's dive right in and let's start off with this breaking news on the raid on the ISIS leader by President Joe Biden.
Last night, operating on my orders, the United States military forces successfully removed a major terrorist threat to the world, the global leader of ISIS, known as Haji Abdullah. He took over as leader of ISIS in 2019 after the United States counterterrorism operation killed al-Baghdadi. Since then, ISIS has directed terrorist operations targeting Americans, our allies and our partners, and countless civilians in the Middle East, Africa, and in South Asia. Haji Abdullah oversaw the spread of ISIS-affiliated terrorist groups around the world after savaging communities and murdering innocents. He was responsible for the recent brutal attack on a prison in northeast Syria holding ISIS fighters, which was swiftly addressed by our brave partners in the Syrian Democratic Forces. He was the driving force behind the genocide of the Yazidi people in northwestern Iraq in 2014. We all remember the gut-wrenching stories, mass slaughters that wiped out entire villages, thousands of women and young girls sold into slavery, used as a weapon of war. And thanks to the bravery of our troops, this horrible terrorist leader is no more. Our forces carried out the operation with their signature preparation and precision, and I directed the Department of Defense to take every precaution possible to minimize civilian casualties. Knowing that this terrorist had chosen to surround himself with families, including children, we made a choice to pursue a special forces raid at a much greater risk than to our own people, rather than targeting him with an airstrike. We made this choice to minimize civilian casualties. Our team is still compiling the report, but we do know that as our troops approach to capture the terrorist, in a final act of desperate cowardness, he, with no regard to the lives of his own family or others in the building, he chose to blow himself up, not just to the vest, but to blow up that 3rd floor, rather than face justice for the crimes he has committed, taking several members of his family with him, just as his predecessor did. I'm grateful for the immense courage and skill and determination of our U.S. forces, who skillfully executed this incredibly challenging mission. The members of our military are the solid steel backbone of this nation, ready to fly into danger at a moment's notice to keep our country and the American people safe, as well as our allies. And I'm also grateful to the families of our service members, You serve right alongside these soldiers and sailors, Marines, Special Forces, the loved ones, giving them the strength and support they need to do what they do. To our service members and their families, we're forever grateful for what you do for us, and we owe you a debt. Thank you. We're also aided by the essential partnership of the Syrian Democratic Forces. I want to commend our dedicated intelligence community, the Department of Defense, and members of our national security team throughout the government, whose meticulous and tireless work over the course of many months ensured that this mission succeeded. This operation is testament to America's reach and capability to take out terrorist threats no matter where they try to hide anywhere in the world. I'm determined to protect the American people from terrorist threats, and I'll take decisive action to protect this country. And we'll continue working with our close allies and partners, the Syrian Democratic Forces, the Iraqi security forces, including the Kurdish Peshmerga, and more than 80 members of the global coalition to keep pressure on ISIS to protect our homeland. We remain vigilant. We remain prepared. Last night's operation took a major terrorist leader off the battlefield, and it sent a strong message to terrorists around the world. We will come after you and find you. Once again, today, we continue our unceasing effort to keep the American people safe and to strengthen the security of our allies and partners around the world.
So there you have it, you guys. That was President Joe Biden, and they were addressing the raid that took place today, and they said that there was a suicide bombing that wiped out the entire third floor, and they said the message is that if you are a terrorist, they're going to find you. So that was today, the breaking news that took place. And also, you guys, take a look at this. In Congress, Democrats and GOP are inching towards government funding to avert a shutdown again. And the deadline is going to be February 18th. And the article very quickly says top Democrats and Republicans, they're going to be inching forward. And they said on Wednesday, in pursuit of a deal that could fund the federal government for the remainder of the fiscal year, hoping to stave off a shutdown while potentially pumping new spending into healthcare, education, science, and defense. Now, the continued negotiations mark the second consecutive day of developments on Capitol Hill as lawmakers who oversee the federal purse increasingly have come to express a measure of confidence that they can act before the upcoming February 18th deadline and overcome months of prior political disputes and delays. So it's sounding optimistic, according to this article, that they're making progress and it's hopefully not going to hit that deadline. Sounds like Republicans and Democrats are playing nice regarding government funding. Now, we will see. I'll keep you up to date on that. Hopefully we'll have some government funding done here before the 18th. And also, you guys, let's dive into stimulus checks. Now, like I said, there are currently 3 on the table right now that I've got for you. And the first one is going to be a potential third Golden State stimulus. As we're hearing, they have tons of leftover surplus excess funds for the state. Take a look. California could be seeing another stimulus check, and it could be a big one. Now, as more information rolls out, I'll be sure to keep you up to date, but I've got 2 other ones for you, and the next one is linked in the description below. Indiana, as Indiana lawmakers are pushing forward for tax cut bills, $125 refund, income tax cut, business taxes. The Indiana Senate passed a bill that would give 4.3 million Hoosier taxpayers a refund of $125 after filing their 2021 taxes. And it says that the bill now goes on to the House. And the refund was proposed by Governor Eric Holcomb because the state closed the fiscal year with an unprecedented amount of reserves, allowing the opportunity to return some of that back to citizens. So right now it is currently going through Congress in Indiana. The legislation is making its way, and as it goes forward, if you get that, I'll be sure to let you know. Now, also, this was from a couple weeks ago, so I haven't seen any updates on it yet, but if I do, I'll let you know right away in Indiana. And lastly, you guys, link in the description below, New Jersey. City is using federal pandemic aid to give $500 checks to residents. And again, this one was a couple days ago as well. And it says Atlantic City is cutting $500 checks to its residents and business owners who were negatively impacted by the pandemic, the city mayor announced Thursday. And this was, like I said, about 2 weeks ago. Property owners, both residents and non-residents, are eligible to apply for the money, which is being funded by the city's cut of the federal payment it received from the American Rescue Plan. And as I mentioned, $350 billion to states, cities, counties. finally starting to take that money and is trying to distribute it out in their own stimulus packages and in many cases, stimulus checks. And it says Mayor Marty Small, Sr., said during a live stream press conference and in a press announcement. And he said, "Our plan this year was simple. We wanted to invest in human capital due to the effects of the pandemic. We all know this area was savagely affected. Property owners in the city who are current on their tax bills and can demonstrate that they have suffered economically from the ongoing pandemic are going to be eligible to receive the payments," city officials said. Over the next 2 to 3 weeks, eligible property owners should expect to receive forms in the mail that will ask about the hardship that they've suffered during the past 2 years. So if this is you, if you are in this area, Atlantic City and New Jersey, expect to see that in the mail and you could potentially be getting an additional stimulus check from the city. So there you have it, you guys. That is the latest that's going on right now. And as more information rolls out, I'll be sure to keep you up to date, as it seems like city, state, county stimulus checks, they're popping up just about every other day now. I'll keep you up to date on all this information as it rolls out here on the channel. And as always, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, take a quick second to smash the like button. Helps out the channel a ton. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you'd like to stay up to date, totally free. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Consider joining the second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. And if you got any specific questions for me, I'm easy to get a hold of directly. All you got to do is hop onto Instagram and shoot me a DM at SteveRam3. Best way by far to get a hold of me directly, guys. But with that being said, I hope this reaches you well. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.